I've suggested there's a parallel here to the hero's journey, so that the outer aspect of the hero's journey is like the goal, and the inner aspect of the hero's journey, the inner transformation, is the parallels to the values. So if you think about how the hero's journey works, there's um, there's a point of no return. And the reason there's a point of no return is because it's the journey often involves a lot of inconvenience. I mean, think about all the stories that you know that follow this arc of the hero's journey. Would you agree that they involve a lot of inconvenience? Like, the hero is going to undergo some tests. The hero is not going to be comfortable all along the way. And if you think about it, there's a reason why that is the case, because in this process of creation, once something has been created, then it becomes solidified, it's stabilized, it's normalized. And so the everything then is working to maintain that stability. So it doesn't matter at that point whether what you have, what the experience is, what that creation is, whether that is what you would consider to be good or bad. It's irrelevant. Everything is going to work to keep it the same. I mean, have you noticed this in your own life, where there are things where you're like, yeah, I don't really like this so much. But then it just, unless you're willing to do something to change that, it's just going to keep on happening. It's going to keep on staying the same, because everything conspires to maintain the status quo. So in order to make the change, the desired change, there's going to be necessarily a going against the status quo, which will be experienced most likely as uncomfortable. So there's a critical point in that hero's journey of the point of no return, because if the hero could return back to the convenience and comforts of the village life, he or she would. Because we, and I've talked about this before, about this relates to willpower. So we can use our willpower uh, only up to a point. Most of us, I mean, for everybody, but for most of us, that point is it's fairly our ability to use our willpower is fairly short-lived. We can't use it for too long, or we burn out. So you can use your willpower as a catalyst to get yourself up off the couch, because you want a change, because you believe something's the right thing or whatever it is. And you can use that to take some action, but it's only going to take you so far. And so if you're running only on willpower, you're not going to be able to succeed. So the point of no return is what overcomes that, because you can use your willpower to get to the point of no return if necessary, right? Because you say, well, I should do this thing. It's to save the village. I got it. I should do it, or I want it. It's so exciting. I want to do it. You can use your willpower up to a point, but then the point of no return ensures that, okay, now you don't have to use willpower anymore. Now it's just like, you gotta. If you're choosing goals that you don't really care about, then you're going to start to experience some discomfort, and you're going to go back home. I mean, how many times does that happen? right? You say, I really mean it this time. I'm getting in shape. I really mean it. And then, it's hot. You start to sweat. You say, oh, I'm feeling tired. I don't want to keep walking. I don't want to run. I don't want to do yoga. I want to go into the air conditioning and sit and watch TV. Being really clear with yourself that the goals that you selected actually matter to you, and that you know what values you're wanting to fulfill through the attainment of that goal, and that those are really important to you, is very useful in the process, because it will help you in essence to go beyond that point of no return. And you can know that because you just know that when you look back and consider the possibility of returning to the old way, you'll just know that's not an option for you. So you're not trying to force yourself to continue. It's just that it's the only real option available, because going back is no longer an option for you. Because going back would be completely false. Just absolutely false. There would be no, it's like if you've seen the Matrix, the movie, there's the scene where the red pill and the blue pill. And the guy who chooses, I think it's the blue pill, I think is the one that puts the guy back in the Matrix. You know that guy? And if you don't know, then I've already ruined it for you. But that guy who chooses to go back, don't you think that, like, you're just like, no, that's not possible. You couldn't go back, could you? That you have to, in order for this to work, you have to have goals that are like that for you, where I can't go back. To go back would be false. There's no way that that could offer any real satisfaction. It would be a total lie. So it's well worth getting getting clear on these things for yourself. Because if you don't get clear on these things, you're making things really hard on yourself. I know that oftentimes it seems the other way around. It seems like, well, it would be so much easier just to keep scrolling on the phone. It seems really hard to take a few minutes a day just to contemplate what you want, and to maybe go through an exercise and write down the values that you want to fulfill through the attainment of your goal. But um, it's really so much harder to avoid it, because in the long run, you will just waste so much energy and ultimately be unfulfilled. And you've been through that cycle so many times already. So if you just tell the truth, you know that. So don't do that to yourself anymore.